is we're going to be creating these little circles that are going to go at the bottom of our banner. And so what you want to do is just kind of find all your pattern papers, mix up the patterns. Like this, I use the green and the pink. So just mix up your patterns. You're just going to use a small one on top of a big one, poke a hole down the center, and then what I used for mine were really big brads, crystal brads. You can use anything. You can use, if you don't have a crystal brad, you have self-adhesive brads. You can use like a self-adhesive crystal, I mean. You can use pearls if you have pearls. You can use anything you have. If you don't have any brads or crystals, then you can use buttons. Buttons would be really pretty. I would use pink, off-white, and green. And you're going to want to do that, so you'll have 6 of these. And these are going to go at the bottom of your banner page. And then the next thing that we're going to do is we're actually going to adhere our scallop edges to the sides of our banner page. So I use a wet glue. My favorite glue is Scrappy Glue. It used to be made by Magic Scraps, and I believe now it's a black bottle, and you can get it from Heidi Swapp. Thank you for keeping Magic Scraps Scrappy Glue, because I love it. It's a wet glue. It dries clear, and it dries quickly. And then I start from the bottom, and I just want to make sure that I'm putting that on there and that I'm going over my edge. So you just want to go over your edge. And I'm going to do the same thing on this side. Again, I'm a sloppy scrapper. Well, I'm not sloppy, but I'm just kind of messy. And you can see this is a little bit different in length, but that's okay. So I'm just going to want to put my little scallops on the edges, and what you're going to do is you're going to put different color scalloped edges with different paper. So in this case, I have the pink stripe paper with the snowflake paper, and here you can see that I have the really pretty pink and green paper with the pink diamond paper. And so in this case, what I'm going to do is just throw some glue on here. And yep, it's messy, but it dries clear, and you won't be able to see because of all the other stuff you're going to put on there. And I just kind of move it so that it's centered in between the 2 scallops. And you can see the bottom looks kind of silly, but we're going to cover that with our circle, so you won't even be able to tell. So you just want to make sure that all your edges are down, and then use your scissors to just trim up the edge. And again, even if your edges aren't perfect, don't worry about it, because you're going to end up putting ribbon on the top. And then what I do is I just set this aside to dry for a few minutes, because I'm going to want to flip it over and punch out my holes. So you can go ahead and adhere your scallops, kind of lay out all 6 of your banner pages, and choose what scallop edge you want to go with which background on your pages. And then go ahead and adhere your edges, and then adhere your page, and then set them aside to dry for a minute, and then come back to the video. Okay. So now we're back, and what we're going to do is take our banner pages, and I'll show you how I have mine laid out. And we're going to work in a quick system. So basically, I like to do things in an assembly line. So do all my cutting, do all my gluing, and then continue along as that goes. So once you've adhered the scallops and the banners, the scallop and the page, you're going to want to flip it over and then cut out, using the large hole in your Crop-A-Dile, right where the top of the banner page is. And I've lost a little. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're actually going to build the pages. And after you've added your scallop edge, added your background page, and added your circle, you're going to want to go ahead and start building up the pages. In this case, I asked my girlfriend to send me 8 photographs, and I'm able to Photoshop them together so that they're 4.5 inches by 2 inches, and I'm going to go ahead and cut those down so they fit on my banner. I think banners are great, but I love them with photographs even more because they're just so much more memorable and personal. If you're not able to do that, one of the things that you can do is just use one picture and do 3 inches by 2 inches, and it still looks really cute, and that's a pretty easy size to have printed out anywhere if you're not able to collage 2 pictures together. But if you are, then the dimensions that I used was 4.5 by 2 inches, and the canvas that I built was 4.5 by 8.5. So what you want to do is just basically line up your photo so that it's pretty much, the edges are pretty much right at the edge of the sides of your paper. And then if you want, you can use pencil and then use a paper trimmer, make it perfect, or you can just wing it like me. I just kind of wing it like that, and then I flip it over and I do the same to the other side. And the only thing you want to kind of keep in mind when you're doing the winging it is just that you want your image to be straight, so just kind of make sure that you have a line straight up and down. The other really important thing is that because you're cutting off the edges here and here, you don't want to have a photograph that has somebody's face down here. So if you have a group photograph, make sure that all the faces are up toward the top, or again, use a single photo like I had in the other if you really want to use a group photo instead. So then you just want to go ahead and do the same to the second side, like that. I'm going to cut a little more off here, like that. Okay, so that's pretty much that, and then you're just going to take your glue and glue the edges. See, I don't have perfect cuts. I use a lot of this, so it's almost out. And then you just kind of want to line it up like that. That looks really cute. Make sure that it's even. Okay. Then your next page, the way I have this set up is I have picture, pleat, picture, picture, pleat, picture. So that's how I do it. So you want 4 of these photographs. You're going to have 2 photographs on the outside and 2 photographs on the inside, and then your middle pages are going to be paper pleats instead. So I did my photograph, so you're going to end up doing 4 pages with a photograph, and then you're going to add some texture to this, and I'm using rhinestones here. I think these are Queen & Company. So I'm going to go ahead and put down 4 of the larger, 4 of the larger ones. Just, again, I'm an imperfect scrapper, so it might not be perfectly even. But I like it like that. Like that. And then there's these itty bitty tiny ones that I'm just going to go ahead and put on the sides and in between. And do that pretty quickly. Like that. And like that. And then set the crystals aside. They don't want to stay on. They're actually really sticky. They just don't want to stay on the paper, the acetate. Then what I'm going to do to finish off this page is I'm going to add my letter L